common thinking and accomplish uncommon results. Do you understand? Like this kind of thing we are doing now is an uncommon thing. Now, if you want to, let's assume that I share this idea with some people, they will have said it's not possible in Nigeria. When I came, I didn't tell anybody. And that was why I tell you that when your thinking process is still at the egg stage, be careful of people you share it with and accomplish uncommon results. You explain that. I didn't tell you to that now. It's an uncommon thing. Now, if you want to, let's assume that I share this idea with some people. They will have said it's not possible in Nigeria. When I came, I didn't tell anybody, and that was why I tell people that when you're thinking, so you don't say, I mean, that's kind of questioning popular thinking. People are doing things in a particular way. That's to be that way. You want to be different. Now, it's always not easy, but you can engage in thinking that can bring about uncommon results. Shared thinking, the ability to include, yes, like shared thinking. I used to do it very well. Like, I have an idea, I share it with my students. I told them, go and develop this because I am also thinking of something else. You understand? I do that kind of shared thinking where I have include the heads of others to help you think over your head and achieve compounding results. So somebody is thinking along, I mean, you have shared your mind, then they are thinking alongside with you. So they help you do the rest of the thinking and also engage in that. Especially as a leader, unselfish thinking, the ability to consider others and their journey, to think with collaboration. That's what Chinese are doing, and they are producing a lot of papers every day. If you see Chinese publication every day, a lot of publications are coming out because they are doing unselfish thinking. About 10 people can do this, 10, another 10, another 10, another 10. So within 1 month, they have like 30 publications. So, I mean, share thinking. I'm sorry, unselfish thinking. Then bottom line thinking. The ability to focus on results and maximum return. Bottom line thinking. The ability to focus on results and maximum return to reap the full potential of your thinking. The ability to focus on results and maximum return to reap the full potential of your thinking. Like, you are thinking with a mind to get a focus on results. You are not just after like just doing something. You want to get to the end of that thing. That thing you have started. You want to get to the end to bring out something result oriented. Now, there are some of us that we have this kind of spirit. Once you do something to a particular you just get tired, especially if there are challenges. That's not a good life. Now, when you engage in bottom line thinking, it makes you to see the meaning that if I have started something, I must finish it, accomplish it to the end. So, then grasshopper thinking. The ability to think that you cannot achieve certain things in life due to what you see around you, like opposition and giants, challenges, good money, all kinds of things. There are nobody around you. Some of us say, because nobody is around me, cannot find help. You give reasons, grasshopper mentality. Men thinking. You feel that, oh, I cannot do it. You cannot achieve certain things in life. You can't do this. I cannot. That thinking, if you have it, is going to make you to be small in life. And any area you find yourself, grasshopper mentality will make you to be limited. Or this mindset that, oh, this thing is meant for these people. It's not meant for me. This is all those people. It's a grasshopper mentality. Thinking. So critical thinking. It involves acts and logic. Now, when you do engage in critical thinking, and that's what epidemiological model needs. Not necessarily mathematical rigor, critical thinking, analyzing facts and logic. Analytical thinking. Breaking down information, break it down into from larger to simpler way for people to really be able to see. Breaking down information. Intuitive thinking. Intuitive. That's the last. I will just say one few things and then I'll stop that and then I will quickly rush this. Intuitive thinking has to do with instinct. Instinct coming out. You have intuition, like knowing something. You just have a knowing, because you engage in thinking. You are able to have the truths about matters. Intuition. You are able to come out with the truth about matters. Now, you see, people that makes you, the process that makes you a problem solver is after the process of thinking. That's what makes you a problem solver. When I'm talking about problem solving, the bedrock is thinking. And you need to find place to do that. You need to find what is convenient for you to do that. You need to find a location for you to do that. Sometimes I want to think, I have to get out of the office. And sometimes I have to move to some place so that I can get some air. Depending, sometimes I stay in my office, but sometimes the situation does not warrant. Now, you have to know what works for you. Sometimes your own may be very early in the morning that, some of these things will come. You have to know the timing that you can facilitate good thinking that will bring out something meaningful out of your life. And these are things that you must engage with every day. Every day. You should think every day. Now, the one that comes at the end of every day is reflective thinking. At the end, you reflect over what you have done. What did you achieve? What did you not achieve? How did you go forward from there? So managing the discipline of thinking, people can influence your thinking negatively as well as positively. People can influence it. I can influence your thinking because of my relationship with you. Like I was talking to somebody yesterday, I was trying to influence his thinking from a very good point of view. Are you getting what I'm saying now? So you can influence people's thinking by your relationship with them positively and also negatively. So you must take responsibility for your own thinking. What do I say? Take responsibility for your thinking. Don't push blames on others. Before you make a decision, think about it. So that you don't say, you think you are the one that told me to. No. That's why, like, in my training people, all around, you can ask, I don't force my thinking on you. I want to see. You are adults. I just place like an instruction before you. You make your choice. Because if you develop people by feeding them, when you are no longer around them, they will not be able to make the right decision with their life. So the way to develop people is to make them teach them, give them, you can give instruction, but make them to learn how to choose. And when they choose, even if they choose wrongly, they will learn in the process. And then they will come back. Yes. But there are some that may be very dangerous. You have to really, maybe somebody, like you can change course. Like if you do a course that is not maybe I mean, you feel that you study a particular course and it doesn't work for you, you can change course, you can go and read another thing, and until you get to where you are going. But you can't be changing life like that. Yes, you become a stigma, or you change husband to a woman. I mean, say, oh, and I didn't think when I was getting along with him, and then after 7 years or something, you change, and then you change again, and then you become something else. So there are certain areas that you need to think very well. Very, in fact, when it comes to marriage, I'm not talking about marriage now, but when it comes to marriage, see all those thinking, something that all of them must be playing. All strategic thinking, reflexive thinking, all kinds of thinking must be in play. Because once you miss it in marriage, that's what that's the compliment of the sex. You must not have a grasshopper thinking. Grasshopper thinking that I cannot do it. I cannot in 2025 must go. In 2026, I can. I can do it. Right? I can do it. So that is the thinking you must engage with. Now, set aside a time to think daily and determine to think in the right way. Right? To think the right things. Set at that time. Now, I'm going to find a place to think as well. Set aside time every day to think. Find a process that works for you. Capture your thoughts. Capture your thoughts. Put down your thoughts. Put it down. Because I said the other time, thoughts have life. They can easily dissipate. That's why you see now, not many daughters. I have one daughter for general duty, the other one for I have about three. Yes, three daughters. If I come to anywhere, no information must slip me. Yeah. No information. No information must go. I will track it down. When that woman was talking, I tracked many things. Yes, because that will be the bedrock for another thing when I leave this place. I don't joke with information. Informations are power. Because that will be the starting point of another thinking. Because that is the source of thinking. You go from known to the unknown. When you don't have information, what do you want to think about? You are blank. You are blank. That's why many people in Nigeria don't think. Because they don't read. A woman was looking for Bible for many years. Sorry, he was what happened was so while he was there, a boy was just moving around and all these small children just went to read he just opened the Bible, the same Bible that people said he brought the glasses out. Say this is what I've been looking for. Well, say you have been reading the Bible. You have not been reading. You don't understand. If you have been reading, you will find the glasses there. Somebody went for a program and was saying they gave people the program of events. And the next person that was saying, what's the next thing that we are doing? What's the next thing on the program? You have the program of events in your hand. That's the kind of thing we have in Nigeria. So that's why I said, I can tell you that 95% of Nigerians don't think. I'm sorry to say. We don't think because we don't read. We don't read. You just get, you have the program with you now. You are still asking the person, What's the next program? What's the next line of the program? When the program is on your table, that's the kind of thing we have in Nigeria. But I want to believe that people are not going to be like that. So, lastly, put your thoughts into action quickly. Put it to action quickly. So, the last thing I want to say on that is that whatever is of good reports, whatever is honorable, whatever is just, whatever is pure, whatever is pleasing, whatever is commendable, if there is any excellence, if there is anything worthy of praise, think about things. Think about something honorable, something right, something positive, and you're going to move it forward. Okay, don't think about negative things. Okay?
All right, thank you so much. So Prof is going to be speaking. Let's start the page correctly. Okay, now you will understand that it takes passion to keep a man standing like this for long. You have been sitting down, he has been standing up, and he has been standing down for long, right? Delivering what he believes that can help you and help me, help all of us. Please let's appreciate him mostly. Now, I want to plead with our people online participants. I can see that you are drawing some. It might be mistaken, please. What you have done is that you have gone to select the pen on your Zoom, and somehow as you are trying to touch your screen, it's writing on the screen for everybody. So please try not to do that. If it's possible, I think there should be a way of erase, and then don't touch that screen again. I will go touch the pen again to write. You can unselect the pen also. Please, if you are the one, please do that, because I can see that you're already decorating our the page for us. All right. So now we stop sharing and then we'll share again so that can get this thing off this place. So see the eraser here. Yeah, so help us erase this. So please don't. Okay, thank you. Now, I know that was a very heavy session. Do you agree with me? Very heavy. So I'm not sure that you will go through such session and you don't have a question. There are things that have been deposited that you want to go back to think about. So you have questions on this session, just jot it down. So we are going to see how to respond to those questions after now. So I don't know, Prof.
We still don't finish, but maybe those 20 minutes.
Okay, no problem.
We'll start soon. Another time. From time to time, a reminder, a refreshing, and also an update whatsoever you are doing. And then you can also learn and unlearn some of the things that you have engaged with before. So now you said research is a process, and the research process is actually a process. It's a process that is both long or short, and it's a continuum. Now, boy, you need more. Okay. Okay. So, what is research? A systematic investigation into a subject with the aim of discovering new facts, interpreting existing information, or developing new theories or applications. Now, we have said many things around this. Now, is something that is going to be on and on and on and on and on. Now, when we say now, the general principle of doing research is the same, whether you are in science or you are in arts or you are in, there are certain standards that are, so any research you are doing is a systematic investigation. Systematic means, you start from A to B, others, C, D, E. There's a starting point, and also there's also an ending point, so to say, with the aim of discovering new facts. But most of the time, do our research go in that direction? Now, is it all the time that our aim is to discover new facts? Does our research solve new problems? Are we focused on doing something that is different and that can help the community and also help the nation? Now, interpreting existing information can also be that, like a review. There are existing information I want to interpret. I want to explain further. I want to throw light into, right? Or developing new theories or applications. Now, it involves a careful and methodical approach to collecting, organizing, and analyzing information to increase understanding of the subject. Now, research can involve collection of data. Careful and methodical approach, organizing and analyzing information or data in order to increase our understanding of that subject. Now, research can be conducted for diverse reasons across various disciplines. Now, you can have different reasons for carrying out your research, maybe to earn a master's degree, to earn a PhD, or to earn a postdoc, and then from expanding fundamental knowledge to solving practical problems. Now, research is an important part of a country's development. However, it costs a lot of money. And many people feel that developing countries like Nigeria cannot afford to fund research, while there are real problems which require urgent attention and money. We discussed this the last time. Now, the reason why, you see now, today, we find out that in our nation, many of the time there are complaints that, people who are doing research, is like there is no value for research in Nigeria. One of the reasons I've noticed is because there is lack of trust in things. That's number one. One of the things are now, because you find out that this one is just on a lighter note. Somebody, a former student of a particular university built an airplane. Some of them, some students like that, they study the engineering. So I think maybe mechatronics or something. They built an airplane, and then their professors wanted to travel, and then it was that same plane, that same aeroplane they were to board. So as they were entering the aeroplane, right? They were entering the flight. So they were at the entrance of the flight. They were trying to tell them, sir, this is a very good innovation in our country. It's some of your students that you have taught in the university that built this, that developed this aeroplane. With what you taught them. And then The next thing that happened was, you mean my students, Felix, and what's your name? Daniel and the Samson. Not true, because they have been trained very well. They are the one that built this fight. They just took their bag and they were leaving that place. Why? Because we know what to taught them now. Do you understand? If you try, now, if they try to fly that plane, you may know the next thing that will happen. So they need to carry their bag and they exit the plane. Now the challenge is that, you know, now the government does not have trust. You cannot get money if there is no trust to fund any research. Now the tech fund that we have, how much is it? The maximum is 50 million. I mean, tech funds in a year. That one cannot do anything. Not to do a rigorous research. Now last year I was planning to apply, and when they told me that, I mean, it's 10 million maximum because of many people, I just throw it away. That this one is a waste of time. That at the end of the day, I may not even be able to sponsor one master student from it. So because the other person that I heard that collected the grant in Conde or something one time, maybe 10,000, I mean 10 million grant, 10 million, 10 million, 10 million. The due is led very well before they release the money to them. Because they were asking him, have you ever touched 2 million or 3 million before? Imagine, yes. Have you controlled 3 million? You don't know. You're asking a lecturer, have you controlled 3 million before? It's just like when we got a grant and the bank called me. Yeah. What they said?
The last time we check, said you are a lecturer, people in that profession don't have up to what we are seeing in your accounts.
Where did you get the money?
Yeah, they said so. You need to explain where you got the money. So on that, we are placing a ban on that.
They closed the account
until you are able to explain.
It was that serious. So what we are saying is that there is no trust. That's what is going on. So, and then the other one that is coming as per, there are other problems. Now, the problems that are existing, if there is trust, research can solve those problems. So when we do research, we can advance our knowledge about a specific discipline or subject. We can solve practical societal problems. We can innovate. We can provide informed policy decisions and business strategies when we do research. Now, research in the 21st century should be tailored towards this kind of thing, where you are thinking of solving societal practical problems, innovating and providing informed policy decisions. In essence, research is a powerful tool for learning. Now, if you are engaging in research, it's a process where you continue to learn. You continue to learn. And once you are learning, you are discovering, you are making discoveries and making progression applicable to a wide range of fields and disciplines. Now, doing good research, how do you do good research? You define your research question.
Stuff now we don't know which is the last question.
So now so every good research should start with a question. Now, because if there is no question, then it means that you have not found the problem. You have not found the problem. Now, when you find problem, you raise question. So you must find the problem. What is the problem? Now, From there, you clearly state the problem or question you wish to investigate based on the gap in knowledge you have discovered. Now, even if, let's take for instance that you have not read any paper, but by instinct, an idea came to your mind. As a scientist, if an idea came to your mind, just by intuition, by thinking, the next thing you are supposed to go and do is to do what? Do literature search. Okay? Do literature search to know whether anybody has done what you want to do. Are you getting it now? Because you need to find out if somebody, that idea that is coming, if somebody has done it, why will you bother yourself to spend the next 1 year or 2 years doing it? And then you find out that somebody else. So you have to start from the no. That's why in Yoruba, I love Yoruba, because Yoruba has some very powerful this thing. He say, ọgbọ́n ọlọ́gbọ́n làákì fi ń pe kí ni o, àgbà nígbà ìyẹn ló pè ní literature review. You don't know. That's what they call literature review. So if you understand Yoruba very well, you do very good research. Yes. You see all those old men, what they have, that's why many of us, you see, some of us, you didn't need old people to tell you story. All those old people, some of us, we had opportunities. Some of you these days, we didn't meet old people. Who can tell you story in the night? When they tell you story, do you know what it does to you? Like, it opens your brain to be able to think. So then the next thing, see that when the issue of question has been and studies related to your topic to update your question, yourself on the current state of things, and this must be progressive. As you go on, like now, this guy started his PhD in 2023. Now, he was using papers of 2023. By the time he's going to finish his thesis, we must find publications in 2025, 2026 in his references. You must update your references. Literatures. Now, by the time you are finishing, has anybody also done what you are doing? Develop a research design. Let there be a research design that provide the methodology and approach for collecting and analyzing data. That should be a design. Data collection. Gather data relevant to your research aim and question through experiments, survey, interviews, or any other methods. Then you carry out that. Now you don't present this kind of basic thing as a paper. So draw meaningful and significant conclusions based on the analysis and make recommendations. Now, you also need to do proper citation. Cite properly and evaluate your cite sources. Cite properly. Evaluate. If you cite a web, put the dates that you access that web page. Put it in that reference. Time management and support. Put the date there. Time management and support. Now, in doing your good research, masters within 2 years or so, you are spending 5 years. You're going to pay enough. So, if you don't want to continue to pay, then you should be mindful of time. Every research should be time bound. Seek external support like editing of your write-ups. Communicate your findings. Let somebody read what you have put up. Present the research findings through reports, papers or presentations. What you lock up? Please send it to me. Okay. Okay, so you start with overall aim. Then you have project aim. We have research question. So the answer to your overall aim is your project aim. While the answer to your project aim is your research question. And then your research question may be what, where, when, who, why. You have objectives to measure, to test, to detect, to develop, to validate. Methodology can use quantitative method, mixed method, random and control trials, lab techniques, different kind of method depending. Quantitative has to do with mathematical theory and all that. So you find out that so the arrows represent that for your overall aim, the answer is in project aim. For your project aim, the answer is in research question. Then if I have 5 research questions, I must have 5 objectives. So each of those objectives, what, where, when, who, why, right? Then methodology. So if I have objective 1, there must be a methodology response, at least a methodology responding to objective 1. Then the same thing with objective 2, objective 3, objective 4, objective 5. Preparing an article for a research journal. The fundamental principles of preparing an excellent research publication remain the same. Even if you are a researcher in the natural sciences, physical sciences, social sciences, humanities, or arts, the way you conceptualize your research idea at the start of the research endeavor matters most than the way you write the research article. Most researchers fall into 2 broad categories. These are those who accept articles reporting original research or publishing reviews with a relatively narrow disciplinary focus. And there are those with a multidisciplinary character. Each research journals has its own unique features, and they are discovered by consulting recent issues and they are respecting instruction to authors. So if you want to publish in a journal, get to name what is instruction to authors. Read it. And then those of multidisciplinary nature are likely to accept the greatest range of contributions, like Scientific African something. They are of multidisciplinary. There are journals that they are open to any aspects. Some of the examples are general articles. May be expected. You see now, this one specified 3,000 to 5,000 words. May be expected to review new development in one field that will be of interest to readers in other fields. Now, once the pages of your paper is more than 50, it's already a week. Yes. That's the library authority. One has the librarian. Once it's more than 50 pages, it's a book. Research articles of 4,000 words are expected to contain information describing an important discovery or even a minor discovery in a specialized field. Then we have letters. Some journals such as Science refer to these as reports. Others refer to them as communications. These are up to 2,500 words. May contain important research results, sometimes preliminary and basic, that are of narrower focus than full articles, than letters. Some journals provide a platform for contributors to present an in-depth discussion of policy issues relevant to science and our society. In addition, these periodicals may be interested in analysis of recent advances in fast-breaking fields, maybe malaria modeling, you just want to write malaria modeling, maybe biomathematics or malaria modeling. You want to be a kind of theoretical of that in Nigeria. Impacts this development may have on future research of society. Now, letters to editor. A published paper can produce correspondence through the editor of the journal in which it appears, which is itself is published and put a letter to editor. In the process of choosing papers for publication, editors of ordinary journals give preference to those of novelty and general significance that are well written, well organized, and intelligible to readers in different disciplines. More importantly, editors are looking for good research or science to publish in their journals. Now, what a scientific research paper is? Science paper is a fundamental means through which you can use to communicate your research result with your professional colleagues. Now in chemistry, now in biology, now in physics. How do people in physics know that somebody exists? Or you are doing something somewhere? Any research you do that you don't publish, you have not done it. Also, biology editors. Some of you have your research inside what's it called? Thesis. Thesis in the university, they put it in the archive, wasting away there. After you have run from pillar to pole, you pay this money, especially those people who are doing biology. So they will say they pay some money, they pay that. At the end of the day, they put that in the archive. Nobody is using them. Wasted. So the Council of Biology Editors in the USA provides the following definition. An acceptable primary scientific publication must be the first disclosure containing sufficient information to enable peers to assess observations, repeat experiments. Any work we do that somebody cannot repeat, you are wicked. And evaluate intellectual. You have kept something away from people. That's what some people do in some schools. Evaluate intellectual processes. Now, it must remain permanent, available to scientific or research community, and open for review by one or more of the major recognized as an indexing service like Scopus. Scopus is not the only listen, it's just a business. We have Web of Science, we have Math Science. For Math, like they are an indexing platform. We have PubMed. PubMed is also an index platform. But Scopus has a business mind. Severe. So most schools use that. Say, how many of the paper in Scopus? How many of the paper in Scopus? Or index in Scopus? But we have other indexing platform. PubMed is one of them. PubMed is mostly people who publish in most of the journals that are medicals for public health and biological. And then we also have Math Science. We have Zenebralat, which is German based. So these are the mathematics index journal. We also have for other terms for other subjects that are indexing platform or abstracting platform. There are countries you go that if you don't have papers in math science and you want to work in math, they will ask why. So now the content of the scientific article should be novel, that is new, true, important, comprehensible, and open. Should be open. By contrast, it is observed that most scientific research findings are buried in meeting reports. Findings that are supposed to be published, then reports, conference proceedings, they die there. Government publications, they are not published. Thesis, like this my thesis, sir, it's not published. You pay all the money, you run from Sokoto to Iran, you go and collect data. At the end of the day, you're going to keep everything inside the thesis. Or books or journals of very limited circulation. Now, if you also are needed for the rest of science research. So it involves logic, of the logical, must be clear, clarity, and precision, precise. You don't begin to be baboons. You put all the words, everything inside, and a lot of things that you cannot even pick understanding from. Usually, there are multiple typical components in order. Introduction, materials and method, result and discussion. Each of those things must flow. Now, no matter the field of studies for the subject, an operational means to proceed with the writing of an article for a journal is to answer this first question in order. One, what was the problem or challenge? Your answer is introduction. So at the introduction level, you introduce. And what do you do there? You state the problem or challenge. In the introduction, I must be able to read your introduction and know what I actually doing. What's the problem you have discovered? What's the gap? When I read your introduction, should contain your gap. And then, how did you study the problem? Your answer is the materials and method section. Then, what did you find? Your answer is giving your results. What do these findings mean? What do they mean? In discussion, you discuss. Your answer is the discussion. What do they mean? Your answer is the discussion. So in discussion, you are relating the existing work with your work. You are discussing. You are not giving result or repeating the same thing. I think okay, this is the last one. And then I will stop. The title. So we'll find another time. I still have many things here. The title will be read by thousands of people. But few will read the entire paper. So each word must be chosen with care. That's by Icammda, 2014. Abstracting and indexing services rely on the accuracy of the title. There are some titles that are vague. When they see, I don't want to read this paper, they throw it away. An improperly titled paper may be lost and never reach its intended audience. Because if your title is bad, nobody wants to read, nobody's interested in what you are putting. So, terms in the title should be limited to those ones which highlight the significant content of the article. Your title should not be off from the content of it. In fact, your title should be there to your result. When I look at your title, you should tell me that I think this very clear is going. So the author should ask, how would I look for this kind of information in an index? That's what you ask yourself. So in composing or developing your title, go for the wow factor. For example, let your title provide the result of the research, rather than have a sterile title like an investigation of. That was not a title. That's supposed to be an objective. Or assessment of. That's not a title. That's an objective. Evaluation of. These are not title. These are objective. It's too general. Evaluation of. Assessment of. Investigation of. I'm going to stop it. I've stopped. Thank you. We start.
All right, thank you so much, bro. I want to believe that the two sessions are taking together now. There will be some questions that we may want to clarify things, and then if you look at your program, we are supposed to have a breakout session, but we will not have that session because of our time. We are now going to take questions. Once we are done with this question, we'll call it a day today. And then an announcement quickly. For those of us that are going to Ilokoju, if you are interested, I think I'm going as talk to a man, the driver. So, but then you will pay. So I think perfectly it's 400 naira the man wants to collect. It's a good one for us. I think we don't need to start going to the strict again. So just the boss will just normally takes you to Ilokoju. For those going to Ilokoju, that's the information for you. So if you are interested, please, I think you should. Once admin comes in, just let her you're interested. Okay, so now questions. Let's go to our questions. So questions for those two sessions, taking questions. Now, question will not give rise to question. Yes, question will not give rise to question. I also have a question too. To signify properly, Mr. Sunil, is your hand up? Okay, good. So I'm going to start from Mr. Sunil, then Samuel, then another Samuel. Okay, is there any other Samuel? Okay. So we have three